I mean, when we have chairs and couches, it's a good time. Welcome, everybody. Put your hands together. Okay, Blue Origin folks, if you're in here, if you can see me, I know it's dark back there, congratulations. Oh my goodness. We are here at the post-launch press conference for New Shepard Mission 31 and the 11th human flight for Blue Origin. Unbelievable. It was a success, so congratulations to everyone involved. This was my first launch. Raise your hand if it was anybody else's first launch around here. Don't we want to keep doing this? I've spent the last 15 years covering sports and had the great privilege of watching some pretty cool things. Maybe I've been in the wrong profession because this was unbelievable. So we're going to hear from all the astronauts. So why don't we just get right to it? Quick housekeeping note, though. Before the press gets up, once the Q&A portion of the program has concluded, do me a favor. Please just remain seated, press, because we're going to excuse the astronauts, their friends and family, and then the press. Okay? Friends and family, when we're done, you will exit that way. Exits are here, 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 and here. All right, everyone's on board? Let's do this. Who wants to hear from the newest Blue Origin astronauts? Woo! Lauren Sanchez, Amanda Nguyen, Katy Perry, Aisha Bowe, and Kerianne Flynn. Ladies and gentlemen, Blue Origin astronauts, congratulations! Gayle King! You guys can stay seated, we're just gonna keep clapping for you. I don't know if that would ever get old if I were you guys to hear that I am an astronaut, and an unbelievable thing you guys can now say that you are. We are gonna hear from all of you guys in a second, but there are over 10,000 employees here at Blue Origin. There are so many people that have put their heart and soul and their brains into this operation to make it possible to do what you guys did today. And I just wanna have a moment. What you guys did, even going out with the parachute individuals that were gathering all the cords from the, I'm gonna get the vernacular wrong, so don't judge me. I'm new here. But you went out, I saw each one of you say thank you to them for even gathering the parachute. You paid attention to everyone that was involved in this process, and it was a really special moment to see that out there at the capsule. So one of the incredible individuals that has made this all possible is Audrey Powers. She's the Vice President of Mission and Flight Operations and also a fellow astronaut. So let's hear from Audrey now.
Thank you. Please, please, please. Thank you. Thank you very much, Carissa. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for traveling from wherever you traveled from to join us today. Really, really appreciate you being here today. I represent a very talented group of people on the New Shepard program and also all across Team Blue, as we call ourselves. And I want you all to know how immensely proud we are to have flown this group to space today. We have quite an opportunity here on New Shepard to give people this experience and to change their lives. I want you to know first and foremost how very seriously we take that responsibility. This impressive group of people, I want to say from them, thank you so much for trusting us today to give this to you. We very much appreciate it. We're also very fortunate to have some other astronauts in the crowd today that joined us to watch this historic flight. So I'd like to ask all the astronauts present, can you please stand up just so we can see you? There are so many of you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've had the wonderful pleasure in my career of working with many of you, and thank you for the trails that you've blazed for us, and thank you for the support that you've given many of us very, very directly, and thank you for the inspiration that you continue to give us. I have been at Blue for 12 years, and I've supported the New Shepard program for every one of the days that I have been here. And 5 years ago, the head of the New Shepard program gave me the best job at Blue Origin. And that is true. I will fight anyone over it. I have the best job. I'm the head of flight operations and maintenance here on the New Shepard program. And we have an audacious vision here at Blue of making space more accessible, like dramatically more accessible to the human population. And we want to do that, first and foremost, as we say, for the benefit of Earth. And New Shepard plays a really important role in that vision. I had the great privilege of representing Team Blue as the first employee to fly on New Shepard on NS-18, so 13 New Shepard flights ago. I was lucky enough to fly. And I will never forget, of course, the stunning, just breathtaking view of our home planet. But I also will never forget the deep, just rich blackness of the void of space. I will never forget that view. It is seared in my mind, and it's something that I can't describe properly. I still haven't figured out the words to describe what that texture thing looked like. It made me feel, in the moment, incredibly, just shockingly small. And we hear this a lot about views of the Earth from deep space. We are a speck of dust in this vast, vast universe. And what I processed after the flight is that I, and each of us that has this experience, can have such a tremendous impact. And it's up to me whether I want that impact to be positive or whether I want it to be negative. And so, New Shepard is what we call the first step in this audacious vision. And it is a technology demonstrator for all of our other programs. You will find the technology that flies on New Shepard also present in our New Glenn vehicles, in our other engine programs, in our landers that will land on the moon. So it is wonderfully important for that reason, but is important because we are giving people who are not career astronauts, who have not worked their entire lives to become a professional astronaut, as we traditionally know that term, we are giving them this experience, and when they come back, they get to make a choice as to what they do with this experience. And so we also are working very hard on New Shepard with people who have amazing challenges and disabilities, and this experience is accessible for them. And we are going to fly every single one of them. And that makes me so, so proud that we're going to give these people this experience that never would have had it before.
Yeah, let's clap for that. Yeah.
Thank you. We feel very, very passionately about that. So we're going to fly all of them, I am convinced. But until we can fly all of them, I encourage these amazing women to never get tired of answering the question, so how was it? What was it like? How did it feel? You'll hear this thousands of times, right? From your best friends and your family members, but also from like random strangers on the street. They will come up to you and say, oh, I know you did that. What was it like? How did it feel? And what an amazing thing. We are so fortunate to be on the receiving end of that question, right? So on a very personal note, I'd encourage you to just embrace every opportunity to answer that question and give people that taste before they get it for themselves. On another very personal note, this flight matters a great deal to me. It matters to us women who have been in this spaceflight industry for decades and decades, just putting our heads down and humbly getting the work done. Even when we were the only female in the classroom, in the test lab, in the control center. It matters for youngsters who might now have a broader view of what it is to be an astronaut and what it is to experience spaceflight. And I am so very grateful that my career somehow landed me in the position to be involved in this flight. I am so fulfilled today. So on behalf of a deeply, deeply grateful Team Blue, congratulations to you all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Audrey. There's so many things that I just thought about as I heard you speaking, and I want to get into it with all of you guys. First of all, I felt like we should all do one big Breath in and one breath out. This like collective sigh of relief that you guys are back, that you are safe, but also just this incredible experience that you've had. And I know all your friends and family that are here in the front few rows also feel like we should just take a deep breath. So shall we do it? Okay, I'm gonna count down from 3. We're gonna breathe in and out. I love yoga. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, don't we all feel better? Okay, I know I do. Lauren, congratulations. I want to start with you. In researching this entire process, I heard a lot about the overview effect, and it was something that I didn't know anything about. But what I have learned that you now will be able to share or to experience is because when people that go up to space and see Earth from space, they come back and their perception of Earth is different. How has your perception of Earth changed now? I know, albeit it's only an hour or so since you've been back, but how do you feel?
Yeah, definitely still processing, right? We all talked about that. Profound is like the one word I would use. I was up there and you see Earth and then, you know, it's completely black, but what we got was the moon. We got to see the moon and it was in complete and utter darkness. And then you look back at Earth and it's like this beautiful jewel. It was quiet. It felt like it was breathing. It was so alive. And that's kind of what I felt, just this aliveness of Earth. But you look at it and you go, wait a second, we're all on this planet. All the people that we love, this is it. And that's, I was like, we have one planet. Because out there, it's dark. It is, you know, William Shatner even said this when he went to space, and now I understand what he was talking about. It's like death. And I don't know, it just made me want to,
Oh, yeah.
I just come back with an open heart, and it really opened me wide open, and hopefully I can bring that to other people and also just protect this planet we're on. I mean, this is the only one we've got. So I'm completely and utterly humbled by this experience. Wow. And beyond grateful.
Absolutely. There are so many people on this planet that you love and care about. You have one in particular that you would like to highlight today. Who is that?
Oh, I get to do that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is one person who I was in community college. I'll say this really quick so everyone has a chance to talk up here. I don't want to take up a lot of time. And she saw a little girl in the back of the room who never felt like she belonged, and she pulled her up, and she got me tested for dyslexia, and my life kind of took off from there. And Lori, if you're here, I flew this feather to space for you.
Lori, there you are. Yeah. Everybody, put your hands together for Lauren's teacher.
I can give it to you later. I can give it to you later. But I just want you to know this teacher changed.
Here, we can pass it
She
back.
changed my life. And for all of you teachers out there, just know that you have such an impact on the kids in your classroom. And Lori, thank you so much for seeing the little girl in the back who didn't think she belonged.
Oh, thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, for sharing that. I know that we all had the incredible privilege of seeing you guys go up, but we didn't get to see what was happening inside the capsule. So why don't we take a look at that video right now?
We haven't seen it. I want to see it myself.
1, 2, 3, take a space! Woo! Behind you, look, right behind you. It's okay, Flynn up there. Flynn, I got you. I got you, Flynn. Oh, the moon! You guys, I don't have to tell you. Look at the moon. Look. Okay. Look at the moon. Oh my gosh. So much. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's amazing.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh, that's good.
Just, I know, Katie's face says it all right there. So Katie, jump to you for a comment. You holding up that daisy. I know you got to tell me outside the capsule how important that was, not only because it's your daughter's name, but everything that it encompasses for you. And I would love for you to share it with the audience.
I don't know if I can cry anymore. Daisies, sometimes people consider daisies weeds because they grow everywhere and through everything, and they show up in so many different places. But daisies are just so resilient. And flowers, for me, I believe, are like God's laughter and God's smile. And I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth. And I believe you can see the beauty in the Mother Earth in a single resilient daisy. That's why I brought it.
It's beautiful. Gayle, when you saw even just a snippet of that right there, first of all, congratulations, you did it. You did it.
I know.
You did it.
What's funny about this, Chris, is that our instructor, Sarah, my new best friend, said, "You are my most success story because I've never trained anyone that was afraid to fly or was a nervous flyer. So I consider you a big success." And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me because I never in a gazillion years thought I could do this. And I just saw a video of us walking up the, I don't want to call it plank, but what's the proper thing, Lauren?
That's right.
You can call it anything you want. You're an astronaut.
No, but walking
Dancing
up
on the threshold of life.
Yes. Walking up the platform and people are ringing the bell and everybody's smiling and I'm just walking in. And it's because at that moment I was so afraid. I just wanted to get into my seat because I just wanted to let the training kick in. I just wanted to get inside the capsule and sit down. So the process of walking up there was a little daunting for me. And I got a text from a friend who's from Germany. So, you have to appreciate the sense of humor. He says, once you get there, you're going to feel like it's sex with the gods. I said, well, that's never had sex with a god to my knowledge, so thank you for the visual. I didn't think that, but I did think that all the stuff that you hear about the blackness and the blue is it's a neon blue, and it's still and it's quiet, and we were all feeling this experience together. I know I will never forget it. So for me, it just says to me, if I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced because that hurts. But I walked out of there thinking, gosh, I can do anything. I can do anything. Oh. And when you get out and they say, welcome home never felt and sounded so good.
Oh, that is it's so amazing. And you just summarized so many different things because so many people are afraid of a lot of things.
Yes.
But your fear was a big fear.
A big fear.
And so for you to conquer that and do it with such humility and such vulnerability too, instead of trying to act tough, instead of trying act brave, just be who you are. And Lauren, you always talk about this. Who you are is enough. If you are there, then you belong. And guess what, Gayle? You belong in the astronaut club.
Oh, thanks. I still struggle with that word. Because I know Mae Jemison is here. Sion is here.
No, I know. But
I know. I honestly can't feel astronaut title yet. I'm very glad to be part of the club. But I look at these women and I go, wow, wow, wow. But I'm so happy to be a member in any kind of way.
Absolutely. Kerianne, when you watched that video, what did you think watching it back and then have, again, just a short amount of time to process everything that's happened to you, but how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling a lot more calm since the first time you and I spoke. I felt a sense of peace up there. I think I blacked out during most of it, except for when I was looking out the window, which is really what I wanted to get out of it. And as everyone has described, the vast darkness of space, it's a color you cannot describe. It was very important for me to see the moon and look down on the earth and know that the people that I love the most were down there. It was a pretty transcendental moment for me. But I think, one of the biggest things actually as a filmmaker is I almost felt as if I was watching a really intimate film. And I wasn't only a witness to that film, but I was also the storyteller.
Beautiful. Did it feel like you were up there for a long time, or did it feel really quick?
One of the things during training that I said that really surprised me was it felt like our quote 0G time was really long, and I knew I was going to have a lot of time to look out the window and go upside down, and it went so fast.
Yeah.
It went so fast.
I see all you guys shaking your head.
I could have taken 2 more minutes. Just 2.
Oh, now the one that didn't want to go up now wants to stay up longer.
I could have taken
My gal.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
We'll take that back to the blue team. She would like to increase this experience
Yes,
by 2
Dave,
minutes.
I would have liked 2 more minutes.
Amanda, I know this is a lifelong dream of yours, and now it is a dream fulfilled. Now that you can say that you've had this experience, and to Audrey's point earlier, you will be asked about it over and over again. When I ask you, how was it? What is your response?
What a beautiful world we have. And when I looked over it, all I could think, yes, the science was done. And that actually is a dream in itself. You know, I think one of the happiest moments, this is going to make me sound like a nerd, and I am, so I own that, was when I found out that we could operate the science inside the capsule.
What do you mean by that? Because I'm not.
Originally, my experiments were going to be passive payloads, which I'm also very excited to see the data from that. But to be able to do that and operate it while we had our moment in microgravity was such a phenomenal dream for me. Mm-hmm. And the person who had to sacrifice that in order to find justice was able to do that. So that in itself was a dream come true. But I did get to float my 0G indicators. I showed both of you.
Yeah, I had the great luxury, but I know that the audience doesn't know what you had. I would love if you shared it with them.
Yeah, after I left the hospital after my rape kit, I wrote down a promise to myself, never, never, never give up. I taped it to my laptop and looked at it every day as I fought for my rights. And that was my 0G indicator, looking at it over Earth. And for me in that moment, I just want every survivor and every person who's ever had a dream deferred to know that your dreams are valid, that even if your life has thrown you a lot of challenges, you will make it through. And even if your dreams are as wild as going to space, they matter, and you can get there too. If I got there, you can get there too.
Beautiful. Aisha, I know representation. Yes, please clap to that. Representation is so important. Congratulations. The first Bohemian woman in space, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw on that short video, which I also would like to be 2 minutes longer because I want to see everything that was going on up there. You had your flag. Explain and expand upon the importance of representation for you up there.
In 1961, when Alan Shepard was launched, we know where he left from. But do you know where he landed? He landed in Grand Bahama. And today I had an opportunity to be on a flight that mimicked that trajectory and allowed me to carry the legacy of my grandfather, who came from Exuma, Bahama, which was my call sign on this trip. And I carried the flag of the Bahamas as a powerful reminder of the past, the present, and the future of space.
And your grandfather was here today.
Yes, he is. He's right there.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is. There he is.
92 years young.
Thank you for being here. You must be so proud. All right, I would love to open it up now to the press for some questions, and I know that appropriately enough, the first question comes from CBS Outlet.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Strassman with CBS News. Congratulations to all of you. Welcome home. Gayle, I'm going to direct this question to you, but anybody else can answer it. So after all the anxiety and preparation and prayer and meditation and training, what about this flight surprised you, and would you do it again?
What surprised me? I got a little lightheaded, Mark, when I was coming back. I thought, am I going to pass out from the 0Gs? I actually thought about that. Then I thought, I can't, and I didn't. So that surprised me. But the thing is, I can't stress enough how well prepared we were. The training, we did it over and over and over again. We prepared for if there's a fire, if everything doesn't go according to plan. We all, and which by the way, you guys should know, Blue Origin has backup after backup after backup after backup. So I was very grateful for that. But we were so well trained and so well prepared. I wasn't really surprised by anything. We were all expecting the noises that we heard. We were all expecting a little bit of a vibration when the parachutes deployed and they yanked you back up and brought you back down. So we were very, very, very well prepared. So that wasn't what got to me. What got to me was how calm I felt, because I really was, I can't stress enough, guys, how terrified I was. But it was so calming to me, and it was so peaceful. And you know, the guy that drove me this morning, his name is Tony. I fell in love with Tony. He's from Montana. He's 32 years old. And he said, it's so great that you get to do this. I said, really? You think it's great? He goes, no, it's great. I would do it, and if I could trade places with you right now, I would trade places with you right now. And I said, but what about the danger? Do you think about the danger? He said, the biscuit is worth the risk it. The biscuit is worth the risk it. And I went, well, okay, that's one way to look at it. I said, let me write that down, Tony, the biscuit is worth the risk it. And then he said, but you don't understand. He's done 4 missions. This was his 4th. He said, we've never had a mission like this. The energy is different. Everybody is so happy for you guys. And I said, why do you think that is? He said, because it's very empowering. He's 32. And I said, do you have a daughter? Is that why? He goes, nope, I don't have any children. I'm living the bachelor life and enjoying it. But he said, it feels so empowering, and it has a specific reason that I find myself empowered by what you all are doing. Says this 32-year-old young white guy to me. Yeah. And I was so blown away by that, his sincerity of that, and what this meant to him. So I think, Mark, I'm taken aback by the number of people that have been encouraged and inspired by what we're doing. You know, I've heard people say, oh, okay, you guys are going up on an 11-minute ride, which, by the way, I resent the word ride. There was nothing about a ride. This is a frickin' flight. This is a frickin' journey. That was not a ride. It was not a joy ride. Yes, please applaud for that. And so I'm blown away by the people that are really, we've had some cranky Yankees and haters. I've heard you. I'm not going to let you steal our joy. But most people are really excited and cheering us on and realize what this mission means to young women, young girls, and boys too.
Historic moment.
Yes.
Historic moment. The first ever, very rarely in your life do you get to be a part of something for the first time. The first ever all-female crew. And I know you guys are so appreciative of all the incredible women who have come before you, but the first ever all-female crew is worth accentuating over and over again. So congratulations to you guys on that. As we look out here into the audience for another question. Okay, yes.
Hi, everyone. Emma Hinchliff with Fortune. Kerianne, I'm curious if film and television of space has lived up to what you saw, and if you have any ideas for a movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. This all came about kind of quickly for me, the way that the mission unfolded, the training leading up to it. And so I didn't really have a lot of energy to think about how I would put a film together for this, nor prepare for it. I really wanted to be in the moment. I wanted to live this with my crew. But I do believe women are underrepresented in many industries. Equity in male-dominant industries is not getting any better any sooner. And I hope that this mission and highlighting missions like this and getting that sort of story, those stories out of the media is really important. So I definitely have some ideas that I'm cranking through, so stay tuned.
Next question. Thank you.
Hi, yes, Mireya with ABC News. Hi, Gayle, by the way.
Mireya.
And thank
Mireya
you.
used to be at CBS, and then she went over to the other side. But I'm still nuts about it.
But I still
Good to
love
see you.
And
Really
thank you all for doing this. It's been a joy to watch all of you on all different levels. You all mentioned after coming out of the capsule that there was this moment of connection, not just with each other, but with the earth and maybe a higher being even. Katy, my question is for you. How are you hoping that this moment affects change for other people moving forward?
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future. And for me, like Gayle said, this wasn't a ride, it wasn't a destination, it was a journey, and it was a supernatural one. And my journey has always been about love and belonging. And I think that we have all felt that sometimes we weren't worthy or we didn't belong in certain ways, no matter all the accolades, no matter all the studying, no matter anything. And I think today we all said it, like, we belong here. Mm-hmm. This is where we belong, and we feel very sure of that. So I think that you'll never know the amount of love that you have inside of you to give and to receive until the day you launch, because you're leaving all the love behind and you're surrendering and you're hoping that you get another chance to love them again. And so when you come back down, you're like, oh, I get another chance and I'm gonna do it.
Oh my God, now I'm crying. Okay, very well said. Very well said. It's beautiful. Next question.
Hi there, Ed Lavandera with CNN. Glad to see you guys all safely back on the ground.
Us too, Ed.
Lauren, this is a question for you. You spoke after the flight how you'd hope that people watching would see this as a possibility, an opportunity, I'm paraphrasing, but something that would be accessible to, I presumed you mentioned just average people across the country. But the fact is, this isn't accessible for millions and millions of people. Do you envision that this would be something that, you know, it'd be like flying from El Paso to Dallas for $200 on Southwest Airlines?
Well, you know, I always revert back to the barnstorming era. And I don't know if you guys remember, that's when the Wright brothers first started flight. I mean, they never envisioned at that time that there would be 747s taking hundreds of people across the country. And so, yes, I think one of Blue's missions is to have that happen. You know, their other mission is for the benefit of Earth. They want to put all of heavy industry on Earth, and it may seem fantastical now in space. Sorry, I'm still like coming down from this. Yes, put of all heavy industry in space, and it may seem really fantastical now, but I know Jeff. And I know Blue Origin, and we might not see it in this generation, but their kids and their kids will eventually have that. So Blue Origin is building the road to space so that your kids and their kids can build the future.
It's such a good point. And I think what's interesting, again, this being my first launch and new to this whole world, is that the normalcy of these flights is a good thing. It's seeing more and more of them is why this is all working. So
and every time one goes up, they learn something. Every single time.
Every single time. That's what they're doing.
Every flight, they learn something. I think so many times, too, Ed, people think that you get comments about, why are you spending all that money in space? What about here on Earth? And to me, it's not a either or, it's a both and. And I think both things can be done. It's not a zero-sum game. Mm-hmm. And I think the more people, I was one of those people, actually. Well, I spent a lot of money on that. And then you get involved and you start listening and you start learning and you start seeing what goes into doing this and what comes out of it. I think you'll feel differently about it.
Today on the webcast, I thought it's worth mentioning, and I'm not sure if she's here or if she wants me to call her out, but Kristen Fisher was with me today. Both her parents are astronauts. There she is. Her mother was the first mother in space, right there. Her mother, Kristen, was 15 months old, and her mom went up in 1984, and Kristen was only 15 months old. And everyone said, you're crazy for leaving your 15-month-old baby back here. And that was in 1984. And think now we sit here, as we just witnessed, the 11th human flight on Blue Origin, and we have mothers, and we have a grandmother that went to space. So seeing the frequency in which this is happening speaks to, I think, again, I'm new here, so I'm not trying to be the expert. I just, observation as now a fan, because I would encourage anyone that has never been here, like me, prior to today, come here and see what they're doing. It is awe-inspiring, and it's motivating, and it makes me emotional.
But I do think it's tough, though, when you talk about mothers. I mean, I'm a grandmother, because in the back of your mind, you know there's a risk, Clarissa. You do know that. And I, at one point, had started writing a letter to favorite son, Will, and favorite daughter, Kirby, and Oprah. Those are my 3 kitchen cabinet. And I was going to leave it on my kitchen counter, saying, many things that I wanted to say. And then I started writing, I don't even want to put that in the universe. I don't want to put that in the universe. I want to go in this thinking that I'm going to return with all my body parts, and that I can do everything that I said I wanted to do. But you can't help on some level think about it.
Sure.
And I'm not a risk taker, but I do believe when a mission is this big and you're working with the company that you know, I mean, I can't tell you how safe I felt with these people here. When you know that I think this flight, I guess what I'm trying to say, is so much bigger than us sitting on this stage. We all know that. This is great and wonderful, but we all know it's so much bigger than what we just did today, and bigger than all of us.
And going back out in the world outside of here and telling everybody your story. You guys are all storytellers. In the audience, I know we have another question.
Hi, this is Brian from People. I'll stand up. Sorry. This is Brian from People Magazine. I just want to congratulate you all, and it was such an honor to watch. Gayle, you spoke a little bit about this before, and you kind of mentioned it again, but I was wondering, we've seen some chatter online, if you could respond to, the criticism that you have seen about, the flight. Yeah, thank you.
Well, this is what I feel, Brian. I feel anybody that's criticizing doesn't really understand what is happening here. And we've all heard it, and we were even all talking about that. And I hope that they will do a deep dive into what this represents. We can all speak to the response we're getting from young women, from young girls, about what this represents. So, I made reference to it being a ride. This is really a lot of work, what went into getting us up and getting us down.
Thousands
Lauren, you should pick up on this.
I'll take it a little bit. I get really fired up a little bit on this because what I would do is I would love to have them come to Blue Origin and see the thousands of employees that don't just work here, but they put their heart and soul into this vehicle. And, rocket scientists, engineers, all kinds of people, they love their work and they love the mission. And it's a big deal for them. So when we hear comments like that, I just say, trust me, come with me, I'll show you what this is about. Yep. And it's really eye-opening. Even when I see the rockets, I've seen it, a bunch of times. And when I saw the rocket that we were going to fly on, we were all there. I took a step back and I was like, wow, I can't imagine all the work that went into this one rocket to send all of us ladies into space. Yeah, and by the way, thank you to everyone at Blue for that, because that was a moment. We all kind of just took a deep breath.
Oh, that was a scary moment. I was a wow, like, God, that thing is big. She's pretty, but she's big. But I would go back to Brian, too. People think it's an either-or situation. You should hear Aisha's story. She's told that you're dreaming too big, you need to dream smaller, when she said she wanted to be an astronaut. Amanda is a sexual assault survivor who had to choose between pursuing justice or going into a space program, and now they're both sitting here. I mean, you look at these, I don't have to tell your story. You should say, Aisha, you should say when people say,
I want to
tap in here,
Brian, because I wish those who were criticizing the mission could read the messages in my inbox.
There you go.
When I decided that I was going to pursue aerospace engineering, it was after my high school guidance counselor told me that I should pursue cosmetology, because she did not think that I would be suited for this field. I went from pre-algebra in community college to 2 degrees in aerospace engineering to working for NASA to being able to sit on the stage and say it is bigger than the criticism.
She's a rocket scientist, just saying.
I am seeing boys and girls around the world say, I am inspired, and I see myself in this crew. We all are no stranger to watching Star Trek, and what did they have? They had artists, they had musicians, they had journalists. They had all people on the crew because we need all of us. And when I look at this stage, and I'm sitting with these incredible women, we advance science today. More people are going to be able to do meaningful research with Blue Origin because we collected data. And it wasn't just plant biology. We studied human physiology. We contributed to the knowledge base of what people know about women. We flight qualified hardware so that more people could use our hardware to fly. It is bigger than the criticism. We are inspiring the world right now.
Any other questions, Brian?
Or Brian was like, yeah, it's actually the person next to me's question. I just asked it, so.
Brian, I'm a People magazine subscriber. We hear your question. We hear your question.
I also want to point out that we had a female crew member 7 who did
Sarah.
Yes.
Where is Sarah?
You had 2 crew member 7s, yeah.
Exhaustively and wonderfully and
Patiently. Very patient.
Trained us and prepared us for every possible situation. We also had a lead capsule communications person. She was amazing as well, and so I think Jeff is also, working toward equity in the workplace, and that is also a good message here too.
Next question.
Hi, all. My name is Samuel Maud from Elle. It's good to see you all again, and thank you so much for doing that beautiful cover for us. We're really so happy with how it turned out. My question is for Katy, and you mentioned that you sang What a Wonderful World up in the capsule, and I wanted to hear from you if you knew you were going to sing that song before and why you picked that song.
Well, I don't know if any other pop stars have been to space, but I thought I wasn't sure if I was going to sing or if I wasn't, because I just wanted to honor my fellow astronauts and just, hold the space in space. But I did come around to just singing a little bit of What a Wonderful World. And I didn't pick one of my songs because, again, it's not about me. It's about the collective, and it's about the view that we get to see, that we're humbled by, and how wonderful our world is. And so I just thought that was very apropos. And I was singing that song years ago and had no idea I'd take a little snippet.
What did you all start thinking when she started singing that? Were you just like, oh my gosh?
It was great, Carissa, because we'd been asking during every rehearsal, Sam, this is why this is such a good question. During every rehearsal, we said, Katy, you got to sing something.
You have to. We were begging her.
Firework or Roar to the Moon and the Stars? You got to sing something. She goes, actually, I don't.
She did tell us that. We were like, what?
She said, actually, I don't. So when she started singing, weren't you guys all surprised when she started singing?
I stopped talking.
Yes.
Just listen.
Well, and I can say this as your friend, that takes a lot. And I love you.
That's true.
I love you so much, I can say that. So you definitely left a mark.
And Katy, the perfect song, too. It was so beautiful. No one wanted to join in, which we might have done if you had sang Roar or Firework. But no one wanted to join in because her voice was so beautiful singing What a Wonderful World as we're coming back down. It was quite a moment.
Beautiful. Next question.
Hi, Eva Monterrey with NBC Telemundo. Congratulations, everyone. Katy, you sung about being strong, about roaring and rising up. But during liftoff, with the rockets shaking beneath you, did you feel that powerful, or did you feel overwhelmed or fearful? And if you would like your daughter to go to space?
Oh, a good one.
Since Daisy's been 3, she's always been like, Mommy, I want to touch the moon. And after we got back, I got to give her a big hug just now. And then she just looks at me and she goes, "What are we doing today, Mom?" I was like, "You can have your iPad." We.
That's so funny.
we were feeling all the things, and it surprised us. But I think one of our words was surrender. You know, like as a mother, and as the opportunity to be a mother, I think the only other time I felt this feeling at dancing at the threshold of life and the unknown is when I'm about to become a mother, and it is like, just take over, take the wheel. Yeah. I just got to let go and just know that you have the best in mind for me. And so, yeah, 10 out of 10 review. Daisy, go to space.
Next question. That's it? Okay. All right, you guys. Can we give it up one more time for the newest astronauts here at Blue Origin? Historic mission. I have to say, what an honor it has been to be in your guys' presence the last few days. Congratulations on achieving your dreams, on even living out dreams you didn't even know that you had, and now going back out into the world to tell your stories. So congratulations, you guys.
Thank you, Carissa.
Thank you.
We're going to let the newest astronauts exit to the left here, or our stage left. I'm going to ask again that the press just stay seated for a minute, and friends and family can make their way out that door right there. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.